Good evening, everyone. Dr. Les, how are
Awesome.
you?
How are you?
Is everyone well? Dr. Les,
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Rav, everyone's well. We
Yeah,
just
now I can hear everyone.
okay, very good. So Rav, I must tell you something unbelievable. I work in two places, one in Rechavia and one in Geula. And in Geula, there's very Haredi patients. And because our chief rabbi Warren was on Mishpacha, both in English and Hebrew, so people here are asking me, they are so overwhelmed and they cannot believe the chief rabbi that we have in South Africa. And then I've told people that he's just come to Israel and he put out a video. And the video is the most amazing video. I don't know if you've seen it. It's got many views. He was interviewed on Channel 13. He's been in the papers. And it's the most incredible video about his trip to South Africa. Howard Feldman was also in South Africa. Also came here for one of these solidarity trips. And there have been many people that have come for the solidarity trips. And I've got a lot of patients that have gone down south to go to the various kibbutzim. Rafi Barnett, who I saw this morning, so he went to Be'eri and they've been to the different kibbutzim and the different places in the Gaza border by the envelope. And it's just horrendous. You hear these harrowing stories. And they've just brought out a report on what they did on the 7th of October with how they mutilated and raped. And it's unbelievable. But Rav, the positive thing is that the chief rabbi's visit to Israel has left such an incredibly positive, indelible impression on the people's minds here. He brought with him over 1,000 letters from the children supporting the soldiers, supporting the wounded. And I cannot tell you how it made such an impression and it was so positively received. So that's really quite amazing. When we hear the other news about the president of Brazil, Lula, who compared us to Hitler, Yamach Shemo, and the Nazis, and it's just unbelievable, but he's been supported by Bolivia and Colombia. These are all rogue states in South America, but they're real countries, unfortunately. And in Brazil, I mean, you have two very strong communities in Sao Paulo and in Rio de Janeiro. So the community have come out very strongly against their president, who was a criminal. He was actually in prison. It's unbelievable. He's 79. They think he's lost it, but a very dangerous anti-Semitic. He's become not person non grata. In fact, he's not allowed to enter Israel because we see him as mamish like an enemy. So the latest news is, unfortunately, when I woke up this morning, I heard that in Malay Adumim, there was a terrorist attack in Malay Adumim, which is just out Yerushalayim. But Bezrat Hashem, I think people, there was no serious injuries, hopefully, but every injury is serious. And, we just keep on going. They say that the negotiations for the hostages is progressing, and hopefully we will get an agreement. And Israel's come out very strong, and it's been amazing what they've said. They've said that now, if they don't get the hostages by the beginning of Ramadan, they will go into Rafah. And it's just incredible how you see how the world, and Rav, this is, maybe you can do a share on it, how the nations of the world are, you have the evidence, their own evidence with their own GoPros and what they did. You can go on Sky Australia, where NGO Monitor showed, and they approached the Australian government, who give millions and millions to UNRWA, and they showed how their members are involved with Hamas, and the Australian government ignored them, the NGO Monitor, but they listened to UNRWA, and so it's like listening to the terrorists and not listening to, they can say, well, they can be murderers, rapists, but they don't lie. But those people that have the evidence to show what they're doing, they ignore. But not all Australians they're seeing the truth, they're seeing the MS. But the Australian government are still giving money to UNRWA. And today, 7 UNRWA employees were detained by the Israeli forces, and now they're in for questioning because they had direct links with Hamas. So we're living in a very, very, very sad world where the whole world is, ganging up against us, and we've got very few friends. America still vetoed a terrible resolution, which was totally one-sided, but they're facing enormous. It's an election year, and Biden is facing enormous pressure. So, Bezrat Hashem, we see the prophecies, they're coming true, that all the nations will go against us, and we actually see it happening with our very eyes. But we have to remain united, and we have to have strong leadership. And I think our chief rabbi in South Africa is showing the most incredible resilience and courage, and the community in South Africa have been phenomenal. And I cannot tell you how much it's appreciated here in Israel. So thank you, Rav.
Shukra. Thank you, Dr. Les. Just about what you say, briefly, Hazal explained that in Yemot Mashiach, just before the Mashiach comes, you're going to see the true face of all the world, how much they really love the Jewish people, how much they really care about us. It was all just fake and pretending. Louis, would you mind reading for us? Because I don't see our friend Jeffrey. He didn't join the show yet. So you're going to be the Baal Koreh today. If you don't mind, Louis, don't forget.
I don't mind. Give me a minute to get my Chumash.
Okay, no problem. Because I didn't want to stop our friend Dr. Les. But we're going to start the show. This Shabbos, Rabotai, we're going to read Parashat Tetzaveh. Parashat Tetzaveh is the parsha that speak about the oil, that what you light the menorah, that means the olive oil that we have to light the menorah, and that's what a little bit about it. Not only that, it speak about the clothes of the Kohanim and the Kohen Gadol, and that we also gonna be focusing in the shiur. One of the other things that we're going to focus is what the Zera Shimshon explained about the menorah. There's a secret about the menorah that we have to understand. There's many secrets, but I would like to channel one idea from what the Zera Shimshon brings. So, Be'ezrat Hashem, na'aseh v'natzliach, v'Hashem alenu berachamav yarviach. I'm in holidays. You can see it's a different place. I'm going to dedicate the show in a soul of Esther Kaden Bat Ketia, Rav Moshe, Mordechai Ben Rahma, Rav Avraham Haim Ben Yaakov, Malka Regina Bat Joya. I don't remember everyone. I don't have the list in the front of me. Also, I would like to dedicate the show in health of all the Jewish people that need the refuah shlema, amongst them all the Jewish people that been injured, that need the refuah shlema, the soldier that been injured, every Jew that need the refuah shlema. Also, I would like to dedicate the show of the releasing of the hostages. Be'ezrat Hashem, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send them to their home healthy, please God, very quickly. Parashat Tetzaveh. ואתה תצווה את בני ישראל, ויקחו אליך שמן זית, זך, כתית למאור, להעלות נר תמיד.
And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel that they take for me an offering of every man whose heart maketh him willing, yea, shall take for my offering.
Louis, I think that you read Parashat Truma, Parashat Tetzaveh. You're reading Parashat Truma. We in Parashat Tetzaveh. No, it's happened?
Yeah, I've got it. Okay. Sorry.
Parashat
Tetzaveh. Okay. and bring near unto thee Aaron thy brother and his sons with him from among the children of Israel, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office, even Aaron, Nabat, and Abu Hu, Eleazar, and Tihamar, Aaron's sons.
But Louis, I think that you're reading further on in Parashat Tetzaveh, the beginning, verse 20, ואתה תצווה את בני ישראל.
If I've gone too far.
Yes. Chapter 27, verse 20.
I've got two more, yeah.
Parashat Tetzaveh, look at Parashat Tetzaveh.
Tetzaveh.
Yeah. Can you see it? ואתה תצווה את בני ישראל.
Just let me just check that on. You caught me unawares. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
339. Yeah.
Chapter
Okay,
27, verse 20. Verse 20.
27, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, verse 20.
Verse 20. Chapter 27, verse 20. ואתה תצווה את בני ישראל.
Hang on.
And you should command the children of Israel.
5, 6, 7, yeah. Is it
Can you
this
see
one?
it?
I think of this. And thou shalt make the altar of...
No. You're going further.
I'm going backwards. It's okay.
Chapter 27.
25, 6, 7, 8. I've gone, it's jumped straight 20, 28. Because 27.
Verse 20. Chapter 27.
See, because I've got the Haftorah for Truma. Then straight after that, it's Tetzaveh.
Yeah. ואתה תצווה את בני ישראל. That's how this taught. And you shall command the children of Israel, and they should take for me olive oil, pure olive oil.
Yeah, wait. I can't see why something's gone crazier. Haftorah there. This is finished. And Tetzaveh. Can't believe it.
Can you get it?
I don't see it. I can't believe this.
Mark, I can't hear you. You are muted, Mark.
Can I pick up on that? I'll get my chumash.
Okay.
I'll pick up on it.
Okay. So Mark will help us. You don't mind, Louis?
No, I don't mind.
In the meantime, you get your bearing.
Right.
Sorry, I caught you unaware. Sorry about that. My mistake. Because usually our friend Jeffrey is reading for us, but for some reason he's not with us today. I don't know why. What's happened? But let's wait 2 seconds.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Okay, now you shall command the children of Israel that they shall take for you pure olive oil, pressed for illumination, to kindle a lamp continually.
Okay. And at the beginning of the Parsha, Kadosh Baruch Hu, actually, if you look carefully, tell the children of Israel, tell Moshe Rabbeinu, but he didn't mention the name of Moshe Rabbeinu. In this Parsha, the name of Moshe Rabbeinu not mentioned. We'll speak about it also. But Kadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu to tell the children of Israel to make the olive oil, to light the menorah. We have to explain what's happening, and then we'll explain why Dafka olive oil. But first of all, we have to understand what is mean olive oil pure olive oil, the first elimination. Nachon? Mark, it's a first elimination, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right, Mark?
Sorry, Rob, just repeat that. I wasn't concentrating.
No, I'm saying the first, it's say in English, the first elimination. Am I right?
No, it doesn't say the first. It just says pressed for illumination. To kindle the lamp continually.
Yes. Okay, so what does it mean? Hazal explained that the Kadosh Baruch Hu tell Moshe Rabbeinu to tell the children of Israel, when you make the olive oil for the menorah, the first drop that come from the oil after you crush it, with that first drop, you're gonna light the menorah. And that's called Shemen Zayit, Zach, Katit. Katit is the first crush. By the way, the word Katit, if you look at the word Katit, it's been spelled Chaf, Taf, Yud, Taf. Se Ba'al HaTurim. That here actually, that the Torah tell us that the time of each Bet HaMikdash. The first Bet HaMikdash will be 410 years. Taf is 400, Yud is 10, 410. The second temple gonna be exist, Taf is 400, Chaf is 20, 420 years. Okay, that's the explanation. But we have to explain one thing. Moshe Rabbeinu never been mentioned in this parsha, we say. We'll explain it why. But the first thing that we have to focus is something very interesting. Hazal tell us that Moshe Rabbeinu, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him to make the menorah, he had difficulty with that. Actually, Hazal explained to us that Moshe Rabbeinu had three things that he found very difficult. What it was? Chodesh, Mahatzit Shekel, and menorah. What does it mean? When HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu about the Chodesh, Moshe Rabbeinu had a difficulty how to know when is the month is full, when the month is not full. That means that there's 29 days, there's 28 days, and then how to calculate the molad. When is the molad going to start? Okay? The second thing that Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't work it out, how come that when Bnei Israel going to give Mahatzit Shekel, okay, that's going to do atonement to all their sin. Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't work it out. The third thing that we're going to speak now, and that's what we have to focus, is the menorah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu, take a piece of gold, okay, put it on a fire, and from that you're going to make the menorah. The menorah was a middle branch in the middle and 6 branches on the side. That means 3 to the left, 3 to the right. Okay. The menorah had cups on the top to obviously put the oil. She have flowers, okay, on them, and they have buttons on them. Moshe Rabbeinu, his difficulty couldn't work out. How can it be that the menorah like this gonna be from one cast iron without any joint, without any screwing to hold the flour together, to hold the cups where the oil, where you're gonna pour the oil inside? How can it be? And that's the difficulty that was of Moshe Rabbeinu. That's according to the pshat of the dvarim. The pshat of the dvarim. Come the Zera Shimshon, Rabbi Shimshon Chaim Nachmani. He born in the city of Modena in the north of Italy 318 years ago. And he said, wait a minute. That was the pshat of the dvarim. But you know what? A matter of fact, Moshe Rabbeinu done many more difficult things. Moshe Rabbeinu was in charge about, we know about Betzalel. Betzalel that done all the vessel for the tabernacle, for the Mishkan. If that's not enough, Moshe Rabbeinu served also as a Kohen Gadol for 7 days. If that's not enough, we know that before Moshe Rabbeinu was splitting the sea. So what are you telling me that it's so difficult for Moshe Rabbeinu, okay, for Moshe Rabbeinu to understand that how to build a menorah from a crossed gold. Is that so difficult? Said the Zera Shimshon, say no. He said, I'll tell you. In a previous parsha, it said, וכך תעשה המנורה. That means תעשה with yud. It say, Zera Shimshon, you know what was the difficult of Moshe Rabbeinu? Not the menorah. Moshe Rabbeinu been told to do menorah, okay? But he saw that it said te'aseh with yud. It can say ta'aseh. No, it doesn't say ta'aseh. Te'aseh with yud. Yud gematria 10. Said the Mefarshim, there is here a problem. Why did they add up the letters yud in a previous parasha? He said that Moshe Rabbeinu have a difficulty. That was the difficulty of Moshe Rabbeinu. What was the difficulty? Came Rabbi Shimshon Chaim Nachmani in his book Zera Shimshon, and he said like this. He said, if you say te'aseh with the yud, there is the yud that it's extra. Yud gematria 10. Moshe Rabbeinu have a difficulty. Said the Zera Shimshon, I'll tell you what was his difficulty. HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded him to do the menorah, okay? He knew that the menorah that he's going to do, it's going to be the middle arm. And the side going to be another 6 branches. 3 on the right, we say, 3 on the left. Okay. He says, Moshe Rabbeinu said to himself, I'm going to make the menorah. I'm doing the menorah. You know what the secret of those 7 arms? I'll tell you what the secret. Because in Eretz Israel was 7 nations. We know that the Canaani, that lived there, Ha'emori, Ahivi, Vaibusi, Girgashi, all of those 7 nations, to overcome them, to manage to conquer the land from them, it's a merit of the 7 branches that there is in a menorah, 7 arms. Moshe Rabbeinu say, I'm going to make a menorah. But in the Torah it said, te'aseh, yud. That means that then the menorah that I'm making, there is something here wrong. That means that I'm not going to enter Eretz Israel. Who's going to do 10 menorot? Moshe Rabbeinu saw in his Holy Spirit that Shlomo HaMelech that built the first Bet HaMikdash, he's going to do 10 menorot. Say, the Zera Shimshon, Moshe Rabbeinu have a difficulty. The difficulty was, how can it be that he's going to do 1 menorah while Shlomo HaMelech going to do 10? 10 times 7 arms, 70. Moshe Rabbeinu immediately worked it out that Shlomo HaMelech going to build Bet HaMikdash, and the 17 menorot, that at the 10 menorot that he's going to make, it's awards with the 70 arms, it's awards the 17 nation that there is in the world. That means that the secret of the menorah that was difficult to Moshe Rabbeinu, said the Zera Shimshon, you know what was the difficult? I'll tell you. He saw that Shlomo HaMelech going to be the king of Israel. And not only the king, the first king of Israel, he's going to build the first Bet HaMikdash. And he's going to be in charge of all the world. He's going to be in charge of all the world. And Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't work it out. How come that he's not going to build Bet HaMikdash? Because Moshe Rabbeinu was thinking that he's going to build Bet HaMikdash. Moshe Rabbeinu was thinking that he's going to do this, the 10 menorot that's going to be awards the 70 nation, to overcome the 70 nation in the world. And that's where was the difficulties of Moshe Rabbeinu. That's how the Zera Shimshon explained about the menorah. And that's why Moshe Rabbeinu, we say, not mentioned in a parsha. We're going to explain now why. But first, let's start with the parsha. It says, Ve'ata Tetzaveh, and you should command. Command who? What does it mean to command? We have to understand. The word letzavot is to command, but there is other word, milshon tetzaveh. Tetzaveh, it should be tzavta, together, togetherness. The Mefarshim explains something extraordinary. Here, Akadosh Baruch Hu tell Moshe Rabbeinu something very extraordinary. Say the Gaon Hida, Rabbi Chaim Yosef David Azulai, that born in Yerushalayim 300 years ago, exactly 300 years ago. He said like this. He said, Akadosh Baruch Hu tell Moshe Rabbeinu that you should understand that when you go now to appoint other leaders and later on other kings in Eretz Israel, that the Jewish people should choose for themselves a leader or a rabbi that can connect and create a unity amongst the Jewish people. That means Tetzaveh, it's not a command, say, the Gaon Hida. The Gaon Hida explained it differently. He said, Ve'ata Tetzaveh mishol tzavta, tzavta, togetherness, unity. Find a leader that can unite the Jewish people together. Rabotai, how much that's applicable to the time that we live in? That we need unity amongst the Jewish people. How much we need now the unity more than ever when we see, like Dr. Les mentioned, and like we see that actually everyone is against us. The proof is there. Everything is there, black and white. People don't want to see. So we need a leader that's going to unite us. There is a congregation, you need a rabbi to unite the congregation. And that's what it means by Tetzaveh, Milshon Tzavta, that should be, okay, together. Another explanation that the Chachmei Musar, the Musar Rabbi explained, it means by Tetzaveh. When you come to prove others, when you come to rebuke other people, before you come to prove them if they're right or wrong, you have to check yourself. Before you tell someone to improve themselves, you have to check yourself. Am I right? Am I 100% with what I'm saying? That's me. Chazal tell us a story in the Gemara in Masechet Baba Batra, in page 60, folio 1. Chazal tell us a story about Rabbi Yanai. Rabbi Yanai was a sage, and he was a dayan, and two people came to him. And the judgment that he put, that a person have to cut the tree that he had from his garden going over to his fellow friend. What was the case? The case was like this. The two people came to him, and the one guy said that my neighbor have a big tree, and his branches coming over my garden. Is he have to cut it or not? That was the question. Or I need to cut it. So Rabbi Yanai said to them, please come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to paskin. When he gone home, and he have a tree in his own house that the branches used to go over the street, and he cut them off. When he came back the following day, after he cut the branches, he said to the guy that had the branch, he said to him, listen, it's your tree, you're obligated to cut it. Okay? The guy that get the psak halacha, that's his tree, he said to him, but you have a tree also that the branch is over your boundaries, going over your boundaries. He said, if you see that the tree in my house, the branch is going over my boundary wall, don't cut. But if I cut them, you also have to cut. That was the judgment. Said the Mefarshim, from here you learn something. Before you coming to prove others, before you coming to rebuke others, you have to check yourself. Are you perfect? If you're perfect, and you know that subject you're 100%, then say it. If not, you better not. But there in the Gemara, just for just for interest, the Gemara asks something very interesting. I don't understand. Rabbi Yana, you know the halacha that a tree, that the branches going over your boundary wall, you have to cut them. How come you didn't cut them to start with? Why do you have to wait for that case to come to cut it? That's the shaila of the Gemara. Hazal said something extraordinary. You know why Rabbi Yanai never cut those branches? Because people that used to pass over sometimes used to sit and used to enjoy the shadow of the tree, of those branches. So Rabbi Yanai said, people enjoying it, let me leave it, let them enjoy. But now that you have this case and you have to paskin the right halacha, listen to that. Hazal say that he gone and he cut the trees. And that's the reason why he didn't cut them lechatchila. Let's continue. And then it says, Shemen Zait Zach. Shemen Zait Zach. Here the Torah tells us that we have to light the menorah with a pure oil. Okay? We explained that the pure oil, it's from the first time that you press the olive, the first drop that's coming, with that you're going to light the menorah. Until here, we understand. But the Mefarshim ask, why the Torah tells us, number one, that we have to light the menorah from olive oil. And number two, why the Torah have to tell us that you have to press the oil. What is hiding behind it? What is the secret behind it? We're going to try to understand what's hiding there. On a pshat of the dvarim, why olive oil, Hazal in the Gemara in Masechet Shabbat explain that when you light the candle with olive oil, it's bring a beautiful light. And that's why the mitzvah to light Nerot Shabbat and the Nerot of the Hanukkah with olive oil lechatchila. Okay? Lechatchila. But if you light with a normal candle, with a wax candle, with a paraffin candle, it's nothing wrong with that. Why? Because today the paraffin candle that we have, the poskim explain that they're very pure. Those paraffin that we see, that when you see it melting, it's very clear paraffin. It's not like in the olden days that they used to make. So it's not a problem with that. That's on a pshat of the dvarim, why dafka olive oil. But the Mefarshim explain, and that brought in a Midrash in Shemot Rabbah, in chapter 36, in verse 1. Hazal say that, you know why olive oil? Because olive oil, you cannot fake it. It's very, very difficult to fake pure olive oil. You immediately can see. He said that olive oil does not mix with any other liquid. Said the Mefarshim, you know what's the parable? It's the Jewish people. As much that you can take a Jewish person, and it's much that he's gonna get involved with all the other nations. In the end of the day, you have a neshama. Spark is in neshama that always gonna make him float, the same like the olive oil. Olive oil cannot mix with any other liquid. Why? Because all the other liquid gonna be at the bottom, while the olive oil gonna be floating on the top. He say Jewish neshama, it's much that he's gonna mix with any other nation and get involved and get deep down to the darkest places. In the end, he's gonna float. The same like olive oil. That's why olive oil, the Torah come to tell us, that the neshama of a Jewish person always gonna float above. And then it says katit, the first press. When you put the oil and you press it, the first drop that's coming, that's what you must light the menorah. Say Rabbi Avraham Tzaba. Rabbi Avraham Tzaba, born in a city of Castilla. Castilla, it's a city in Spain. He born 584 years ago. His granddaughter, he have a son, Yitzhak. He's the son of his son, Yitzhak. The granddaughter married the Maran Shulchan Aruch, Rabbi Yosef Karo, that wrote the Shulchan Aruch. Okay? Rabbi Abraham Sabah lived during the Spanish Inquisition. Just quickly, history about him. And when the Spanish Inquisition started, he fled first to Portugal. In Portugal, two of his kids been taken by the monastery, and he didn't see them anymore. They've been kidnapped. Okay, they've been baptized. Then he moved from there. He started the journey to go to Africa. And while his journey, his wife died. He suffered a lot. In his book, Tzror Amor, in the Parashat Shavua, at the beginning, he explained it, his introduction, and the history of how much he suffered, and how he managed to keep his faith in Yiddishkeit. And in his book, he says something extraordinary. Said the Rabbi Avraham Sabah, he said what the Torah tried to hint to us. Why do we need to press? Why the first press of the oil, dafka, that oil we have to use? Why do we have to crush it, the oil, that to come the first drop? Say Rabbi Avraham Sabah, something extraordinary. He said, look, the Jewish people, when do you see them at their best? When do you see the Jewish people elevating themselves? When do you see them that and the best? When they are straight. When you see them get pressed, when the Jewish people underneath press, lo alenu, you see the greatness of the Jewish people, say Rabbi Avraham Sabah. He said, from here you can learn. You can learn something extraordinary. He said the Jewish people, unfortunately, they have to go to some kind of dire strait to be pressed, and then they get united, and then you see the greatness of the Jewish people. And that's the time that we are now, Abotai. We time of Havle Mashiach, the pain birth of the Mashiach. That's not so simple. The pain birth of the Mashiach, it's not a simple thing. The pain birth of the Mashiach is something that we have to understand, that it's come to teach us that we have to be, with all the difficulties that we have to continue to be strong. And that's what we're having now. That's the Havle Mashiach that we're having. I would like to continue now to chapter 28. Chapter 28. And there in verse, chapter 28, verse 4. Let's go to verse 4. Okay.
Rav, maybe
And
Louis wants to continue now that
yes,
he's found the place.
Carry on, Marky, please.
Don't you want to continue?
I just want to make sure. I don't know what's happened here, but it's verse
Okay,
4.
I'll continue if you want.
All right, let me just see what. All right, Rolf, read it out to us, please.
okay. Ve'ele habegadim. Here it's talking about the clothes of the Kohen Gadol. Okay, and it says like this: Ve'ele habegadim asher ya'asu hoshen ve'efod u'me'il u'ketonet tashbetz mitznefet ve'avnet ve'asu bigdei kodesh le'aron achicha u'lebanav lechano li.
And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate, and an ephod, and a robe, and a tunic of conquer work, a mitra, and a tunic and grudal, and they shall make holy garments for Aaron and his brother and his sons, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office.
Okay. On a pshat of the dvarim, the Torah tells us that there is bigdei keuna, the clothes of the Kohen Gadol. But first, let's explain. The Kohen Ediot. What is Kohen Ediot? Ediot, the new term in Israel, is stupidity, but it's not. Kohen Ediot, it's a normal Kohen. It's not the Kohen Gadol. It's a normal Kohen. Kohen Gadol used to wear 4 different clothes, while the Kohen Gadol, the higher priest, have to wear 8 different clothes. What does it mean? The normal Kohen have to wear kitonet, that it's a garment. Avnet is a belt, okay? Michnasayim is a trouser. Mikbat is, it's like a hat on top of his head that the Kohanim used to wear. While the Kohen Gadol used to wear 8 different clothes. That means 4 other clothes above the Kohen Ediot. The Kohen Gadol have to wear like this. Tzitz, that means the head plate on top of his head. Okay? It was the name of the Almighty. It was a gold plate with the name of the Almighty on the top of his head plate. Okay. Then Hoshet, the Hoshen. Hoshen is the breastplate. Ephod, it was like an apron. Me'il is a coat that he used to wear. Ketonet is a garment. Mitznefet, it was the belt. And then he used to wear, mitznefet, it's the coat that he have to wear. Avnet and michnasayim. Avnet is a belt, and michnasayim is a trouser. So we see from here that he used to wear 8 clothes. That's the difference between the Kohen Gadol and the Kohen Ediot. Until here, that's the pshat of the dvarim. Hazal, in a Gemara in Masechet Psachim, in page 88, folio 2, tell us something extraordinary. Listen what Hazal tell us. Hazal tell us, Ma korbanot mechaprim, af bigdei keuna mechaprim. What does it mean? Hazal in a Gemara say, in Masechet Psachim, page 88-2, say, the korbanot, that when a person bring a korban to the Kohen in Bet HaMikdash, when he bring that korban, that used to do atonement to his sin. And Hazal say that the korbanot used to do atonement. I'll tell you a secret. The clothes of the Kohen Gadol also used to do atonement for the sin. That's the Gemara. Come the Zohar HaKadosh. And the Zohar HaKadosh explained in our Parsha that every clothes that the Kohen Gadol used to wear, okay, used to do atonement to different sin. That's the Zohar HaKadosh. Rabotai, what I'm doing here, I'm taking Torah Shebichtav, the written Torah. I'm going to take the oral Torah to explain it, and then we're going to do a shaila, okay? We take a kushia to try to find the answer, Be'ezrat Hashem. So listen what it says. It says something very interesting. The Zohar HaKadosh says the Hoshen. The Hoshen is the breastplate. The breastplate used to do atonement for Gezel and Avel Bamishpat. Gezel, it's robbery. Avel Bamishpat, injustice. If a person done injustice, okay, or done a robbery, when he used to go to Bet HaMikdash and he used to look at the Kohen Gadol and he used to look at the Hoshen, we'll explain it just now how the Zohar HaKadosh explained, how does it work, used to do atonement for that kind of a sin. Then the ephod is the apron, used to do atonement to Avodah Zarah. A person that have done Avodah Zarah, worship idols. The me'il, the coat, used to do atonement for Lashon Hara, gossiping. The kitonet, the garment, used to do atonement for murder, shpichut damim, say the Zohar HaKadosh. The mitznefet, okay, the mitznefet is the head, the what do you call it? The
turban.
The turban that you used to wear, used to do atonement for a person that have gasut ruach ve'geava. That means a person that's arrogant, full of arrogancy and proud. And the avnet, okay, that's the belt, okay. that used to do atonement for what do we call it? Hirhur alev. It means a person that have bad food. Okay? And then the michnasayim, the trouser, used to do atonement for people that sin with immorality. The tzitz HaKodesh, what it means, the tzitz HaKodesh, the head plate that we say that you used to wear, it's a gold plate with the name of the Almighty here, the holy name. Okay, that used to do atonement for azut panim. It's azut panim is people that have cheekiness, that they cheeky, that they insolence, or I don't know how to exactly to pronounce it, but people that have cheekiness. Okay, the Zohar HaKadosh saying that when a person used to come to Bet HaMikdash, and he used to see the Kohen Gadol dressing up with all of those 8 different kind of clothes, and he used to think about the sin that he done and focus, let's take the first one, the Hoshen, okay? And he said to himself, listen, I robbed, I done a robbery, or I done injustice, whatever was, and he looking at the Hoshen, the breastplate of the Kohen Gadol, he look at it, and he's saying to himself that he regret what he done. The merit of those clothes will do atonement for his sin. Until here, the Zohar explain how does it work, what Hazal tell us in a Gemara. Until here, we understand. Rabotai, now come the Shaila. Come Ba'al Hafla'ah. Ba'al Hafla'ah, it's a book. Rabbi Pinchas Levy Horowitz. Rabbi Pinchas Levy Horowitz, he born around 293 years ago, plus minus, okay? He born in the Ukraine, if I'm not mistaken, and he asked a question like this. And he say, I don't understand. You telling me that the avnet, it means the belt, used to do atonement for Hirhur Alev. Hirhur Alev is bad thought. Okay, I understand, I accept. But I have a shaila. Hazal in the Gemara in Masechet Kedushim in page 40, folio 1, tell us, Akadosh Baruch Hu eno metzaref mahshava ra'a le'avera. What does it mean? Akadosh Baruch Hu, if a person have a bad thought, let's say, for example, he planned to rob, he planned to steal, but he never stole and he never robbed, Akadosh Baruch Hu doesn't consider it as ma'aseh, doesn't consider it as avera. Say, the Ba'al Hafla'ah, then why you need the avnet? What do you need the belt? I don't understand, a bad thought. Because the Gemara tell us specifically that Akadosh Baruch Hu, if a person have a bad thought, but he never done it, Akadosh Baruch Hu doesn't consider it like he done it, except one case, that if we think about Avodah Zarah. But wait a minute, the rest, except Avodah Zarah, doesn't consider as Avera? No, said the Gemara. Said the Ba'al Hafla'ah, I don't understand. Can you explain to me what's happening here? In that case, why do I need the avnet? Why is the Kohen Gadol needed the avnet? Can you explain to me? Said the Kohen Gadol. Say Ba'al Hafla'ah, what is the Kohen Gadol in that case needed the avnet? He doesn't have to wear the avnet. I don't understand. What's the hidush here? Why does he need it? It's a very good shaila. Instead, the Ba'al Hafla'ah will explain to you what it was. What the Hazal say that the avnet used to do atonement. I'll tell you what it used to do atonement. It used to do atonement when people have a bad thought. They know that they're not allowed to think about certain things, but they continue to develop the bad thought. That means it's not a bad thought that person say, I'm going to rob and finish. But it didn't work out. I'm going to do whatever he's going to do. Avera that he's going to do. He said that the avnei, the job of the avnei, that was the belt of the Kohen Gadol, is to do atonement for those that not only fought, they developed their thought. That means they knew that what they're not allowed to think, but they develop it. For example, when people think things that they shouldn't, about eshet ish, okay, or non-married woman, and etc. Say, what the Zohar tell you that it used to do atonement, I explained. The power of the Avnet was that although that he continue and develop whatever thought that he had, by that he looking at the Avnet, that used to be atonement. What Hazal tell us in the Gemara, in Masechet Kedushin, I tell you what she's talking about. What she's talking about, that people ever thought, you're going to do Avera, and he stopped. That's it. He planning to do it, but it didn't work out. He didn't develop it. Here we're talking about that when a person wanted to do the development, wanted to continue, and he developed whatever he have to do. That's the difference. That's the idea that hiding behind it, and now we can understand. I would like to continue with to chapter 28, verse 35. Chapter 28, verse, 35. Louis, are you okay with that?
35, I'll get it down.
See if you see it.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Can you see it? Okay. והיה על אהרון לשרת, ונשמע קולו בבואו אל הקודש, לפני אדוני, ובצאתו ולא ימות.
And I shall upon Aaron to minister, and the sound thereof shall be heard when he goes in unto the holy place before the Lord, and when he cometh out, that he died not.
Okay. In Pshat of the Dvarim, the Torah tells us here something very interesting. The Torah tells us that the Kohen Gadol, the coat that he used to wear, used to be bells to it. On a coat of the Kohen Gadol used to be belt, and when he used to walk, it used to make, the bells used to make sound. The sound. That's the Pshat of the Dvarim. What's hiding behind it? The Mefarshim ask, why, when the Kohen Gadol have to walk in Beit HaMikdash, you have to make noise? What's the Hidush here? The Rashbam. Who was the Rashbam, the famous Rashbam? The Rashbam, it was Rabbi Shmuel ben Meir. Rabbi Shmuel ben Meir, born in the north of France. He born 944 years ago. Yes, 944 years ago. He was one of the first Rishonim, very close to the Geonim, just after the generation of the Geonim, when they start the generation of the Rishonim. And listen what he said. He says something like this. You know why the Kohen Gadol needed to make sound when he walked in Eichal towards the Holy of Holiness? He explained this. He said once a year, the Kohen Gadol used to enter the Holy of Holiness to do atonement for the children of Israel, to all the nation of Israel. What did he used to do? He used to do the ketoret, the spices, and sprinkle, the blood on the altar. Okay, that's how he used to do atonement. Once a year, he used to enter the Holy of Holiness. He says that there is here something very interesting, said the Rashbam. Rabbi Shmuel ben Meir. He said when the Kohen Gadol used to walk, he used to walk through the Echal. Okay, when he used to walk through the Echal, no Kohanim Hediotot allowed to see him, that they're not going to disturb his thought. Why? Because when the Kohen Gadol enter the Holy of Holiness, he have to be focused 100%, okay, about the atonement, about the job that he has to do. And if he see other Kohanim, it's going to distract him. And he's going to think about something else. And that can cause his death, because he can't focus 100% on his mission. Said the Rashbam, I'll tell you what was the job here. That if there is a Kohen in Echad that didn't finish or still busy with something, he's going to hear the Kohen Gadol walking. When he walks, those bells that there is on the coat will make the sound, the noise, and immediately you understand that you have to disappear, not to disturb the Kohen Gadol. He said that's the secret why was bells on a coat of the Kohen Gadol. And now we can understand what the verse telling us. Venishma, and it's been heard, bebo'o el HaKodesh, when he come inside the Holy of Holiness. That means when the Kohen Gadol was walking towards the Holy of Holiness, he used to wear that coat, and the coat used to have at the bottom bells, and those bells used to make a sound to tell the Kohanim that the Nechal, if there is a Kohen in Nechal, immediately to leave, to disappear. That was the secret behind it. Why did the Kohen Gadol, explain the Rashbam, why is the Kohen Gadol in his coat have to be, and the bottom of his coat have to be bell? That's the secret. Let's continue to chapter 30, Louis, we're going to go to chapter 30, verse 1, and with that, we're basically going to finish the show today. And here we speak about the Mizbeach of the Ketoret. Okay, let's read it, and we'll see what the question, and then we go from there. ועשית מזבח מקטר קטורת, עצי שיטים, תעשה אותו.
And thou shalt make an altar to burn incense upon, of the Arcadian wood shall thou make.
Okay. The Torah tells us that in the end of the Parsha, if you look towards the end of the Parsha, that's already Shvi'i, Aliyat Shvi'i, the 7 person that go to the Torah, Shabbos. The Torah tells us that we should make, and tabernacle should be Mizbach HaKetoret. What it means, Mizbach HaKetoret? A Mizbeach, it's an altar, that on that Mizbeach, they used to sacrifice the spices. Okay. And we have to understand, and all the Mefarshim asking this question, and the question that I'm going to bring, that the commentary that I'm going to bring is the commentary of Rabbi Avraham Azulai. Rabbi Avraham Azulai was the grandfather of Gaon Hida, or actually the grand-grandfather of Gaon Hida, Rabbi Chaim Yosef David Azulai. And Rabbi Avraham Azulai, he born in Morocco, he born around 454 years ago, plus minus. He wrote a beautiful book. It's called Baal Brit Avraham. Baal Brit Avraham. It's a commentary on Parashat HaShavua. And he asked a very, very fascinating question. He said, I don't understand. From all the vessel that you're telling me, the clothes of the Kohen Gadol, everything about the tabernacle, the Mizbeach HaKetoret been mentioned last. Why? Why dafka, the Mizbeach that you used to sacrifice the incense, the spices, been mentioned last? Why not at the beginning? Why not in the middle? Why dafka in the end? That's the question of Rabbi Avraham Azulai. And Rabotai, we have to understand what's hiding behind. Say Rabbi Avraham Azulai, that actually here the Torah hinting to us and teaching us how a person should learn and grow up in Yiddishkeit. He said like this. He said, first of all, let's understand what was the secret of Mizbeach HaKetoret. Mizbeach HaKetoret, that's the spices that they used to sacrifice the spices on it twice a day, one in the morning, early one in the morning when they used to serving, and then Ben Arbaim, just before sunset. They used to do it twice a day. Why? Because that used to do atonement to all the sin of the Jewish people. The mizbeach, the spices used to do atonement for all the sin of all the Jewish people, even if they didn't bring korban. That's me. Say Rabbi Avraham Azulai, that the Ketoret had done a shiur about it a few years back. Maybe I should do a show about it again. There's great secret about it. That means the Ketoret, the spices, it's actually representing a higher secret. He say, and that came last. Why? To teach you. When a person want to grow up in Yiddishkeit, want to become Talmid Chacham, how should he study? He said, first of all, you have to learn Mikra. Mikra is the Humash, the written Torah. Then Mishnah, oral Torah. Okay? Then Gemarot, but it's also oral Torah. Then Halachot, then to learn Halacha. Okay? That you have to know what is allowed, what is not allowed. Okay? A person has to understand that. After you learn the Halachot, you have to learn the Poskim. How to learn how to do Psak Halacha. And when you learn all of that, say Rabbi Avraham Azulai in his book, remember Baal Brit Avraham, he said, only then jump, if you think that you're ready, after there's certain qualification, then start studying Kabbalah. What is mean Kabbalah? The secret of the Torah. He said many people, when they become Baalei Tshuva, okay, after a while, they start learning Kabbalah. Whoa, wait a minute. You didn't finish all the Chumash. You didn't finish all the Mishnah. You didn't finish the Shas. Okay? You didn't finish the Psakei Halacha. You didn't finish Poskim. You're already going to the Kabbalah, the secret of the Torah, the heart of the Torah, to understand how HaKadosh Baruch Hu creating things, how HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. What are you doing? Say Rabbi Avraham Azulai. The Torah here hinting to us something very important. The Torah telling us that when you start growing in Yiddishkeit, okay, do it in stages. And the last thing that you should learn is Kabbalah. Why? Because Kabbalah is the secret of the Torah. Kabbalah is name of holy angels. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu used those angels for different things that he creates. And you coming, and you want to learn the secret how HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, he said that should be the last. The same like Mizbeach HaKetoret. HaKadosh Baruch Hu put the Mizbeach HaKetoret because the spices speak about Sodot Elyonim. Sodot Elyonim is the secret in the heaven. He said that you should learn that the Torah tell you when you build a tabernacle, you should go step by step. When did she put the Mizbeach HaKetoret? Right in the end. After you've done everything, after you learn everything, after you fulfill yourself with number one, Mikra. That's the Humashim, 5 books of Moses. That's Torah Shebichtav. That means the written Torah. Then you move to Torah Shebe'al Peh, the oral Torah. Mishnah, Gemara, Then you move to Psakei Halachot and Poskim to understand the Halachot, the Poskim. Then, when you've done all of that, when you learn all of it, when you finish all of this, only then there is certain categories that if you can start learning Kabbalah. So what do you learn from here? Say Rabbi Avraham Azulai, that many people, when they start to become Baalei Tshuva, after a while they start learning Kabbalah. Why? Because they love the mystical part of the Torah, but they don't understand that the mystical part of the Torah, nachon that it's very interesting, nachon that it have a lot to do with that. But if you're not on a level, you're just gonna cause problem. It's like, imagine that you put a little child, okay, by the computer, by the red button, and if that little child will press the red button, he's gonna sell atomic missiles. You don't put someone like this. You put someone that can think, that understand, that have ability to understand. If we press the red button, what's going to happen? And that's the same. That people don't understand. They go and learn Kabbalah, Kabbalah, Kabbalah. Everyone. But are you in the level? That sometimes I tell you things. What I'm telling you, it's not even Kabbalah. And just the introduction. It's not even the introduction to Kabbalah. I'm bringing you from the Zohar. It's the secret, but before we go into the depths to understand. But these people that really take the Kabbalah and go in depths into it to understand the secret how HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. No. Those one, when you're ready, when you're on the level, then you learn. And there is certain category. You have to be, first of all, over the age of 40, Hazal say. Number one. Number two, you have to be married. Number three, you have to have all of those that you finish the Mikra, Mishnah, Gemara, Poskim, and then that you Yirei Shamayim, Betachlit. Only then, when you reach all of those categories, then maybe you can start learning Kabbalah. Say Rabbi Avraham Azulai, that's what the Torah hinting to us. Not to jump to Kabbalah. Kabbalah is very few can learn. And Be'ezrat Hashem, Rabotai, that we should learn from this Parsha that come to teach us that number one, that we explained that the olive oil, that the Jewish people, the special people. What it means special people? Olive oil doesn't mix with other liquid. Katit Lamaor, the first press that we all the time to find our greatness as a Jewish people, we have to be pressed. That's Rabbi Avraham Sabah. You know, I heard a very sad thing a few days ago. I actually read that article, and the guy said, you know, it's a sadness that we know how to die together, but we don't know how to live together as a Jews. And it's very important, about how important that we should live in unity, in peace together, support each other, because we can see that we cannot rely on anyone. Today the state is with us, like Dr. Les said. What we see already, Britain, what she said, that she doesn't want to supply us anymore with ammunition. They know the truth, the world know the truth, but they don't want to admit it. And that's going to be the dire straits, one of the biggest dire straits of the Jewish people. That we have to understand that we have no one to rely, only on our Father in heaven. That's the only one that we can rely. But we have to be united because HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us united. And when we united, then we fulfill the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shalom. And Be'ezrat Hashem, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will say enough to all our tzores, dai letzarotenu, and unite us more. We're very united compared to where we was before the 7th of October. But we're still not there. And Be'ezrat Hashem, if we all gonna merit to be more united, to live in peace and unity together, in harmony, to love each other, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will see us and will say enough to our tzores and send us Mashiach Tzidkenu speedily in our day. Amen. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Rabotai, if there is any shaila, any sheilot regarding the shiur, please unmute your microphone and ask. Bechavod. Any question, Rabotai? No question tonight. So that will take us to the end of the show. I would like to thank you all for joining us. And please God, I'll see you tomorrow night at Shul and on Shabbos again. The Shi'ur, it's an hour before Mincha. I'll send it in a group the appropriate time. When is it in a big Shul? So in the meantime, I would like to wish each one of you individually, those of you that can't join us for the Shi'ur, those that not with us, like Dr. Les and like Louis, that live in Eretz HaKodesh, to wish you all Shabbat Shalom. Have a great week, a beautiful week, and a beautiful Shabbos. And please God, we hear Besorot Tovot. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good night.